Hi, I'm Ramon, and welcome to another episode of Carter Car.
Hi, I'm Dana.
On today's episode, we'll be reviewing a video that happened in Los Angeles, California, where LAPD had a police shooting.
Yes, it involves a suspect who was running down the street armed with a gun, and once the officers confront him at the end of a driveway in an apartment building, a shooting occurred. So we'll watch the video and we'll discuss.
Yeah, hi. Somebody just vandalized my car. They threw a weight on my front windshield in front of my house. I know who it is.
Did you see the person that vandalized your vehicle?
Yeah, my girlfriend saw.
Your girlfriend saw the suspect?
Yeah, we have the cameras too. So.
Okay, one second. So the question is if you guys saw the person that did this.
Correct, yes.
Okay, and how long ago did this happen?
About 3 minutes ago.
I see him. He's over there. All right, put it up. We get a backup 415 man with the gun.
So then if I want to get a backup 415 with a man with a gun,
He's gonna take off. Heads up. Say, he's running southbound, but he's running southbound and straight up. He's running southbound and straight up.
He's running southbound and straight up.
Got a gun. Heads up. Get it. Heads up. Say, he's running out. Heads up, partner.
Yes, sir.
All right. Heads up. Put it down. Hey, what up, Gonzalo? Put it out. And 5'8", he's got a gun in his head. Heads up, partner. Heads up.
5'8",
He's southbound, Gonzalo 5'9".
Gonzalo 5'8", he has gun.
Yeah, hey, we're southbound Gonzalo. He's got his gun in his head. We're southbound Gonzalo from 5'9". Damn, heads up. He's running to the back of 5'9".
He's running to the back of fun.
He's got a gun.
He's got a gun in his hand.
Hey, put the gun down! Officer detail, shot fired. I got it. Heads up.
Yes, sir.
Trophy 5'1", officer detail, shot fired. Damn it. You okay?
Yes, sir. You good?
Trophy 5'1", officer detail, shot fired. All the suspects to the rear. Wearing a blue shirt. He's armed with the handgun. You good?
Yes, sir.
Hey, get on the ground!
Get on the ground!
Get the fuck on the ground! Get the fuck on the ground! Don't move! Move! Do not move!
Hey, Master
Don't move! Don't move! Put your arms out to your side! Put your arms out to the side! Don't move! Face away from me! I see him. He's over there. All right, put it up. We get a backup 415 man with the gun.
So then if I want to get a backup 415 with a man with a gun.
He's gonna take off. Heads up. He's running southbound, but he's running southbound and straight up. He's running southbound and straight up. He's got a gun. Heads up. Get it. Heads up. Say he's running out. Heads up, partner. All right. Heads up. Put it down. Put the gun down. Hey, Juan Gonzalo, put it out. And 5'8", he's got a gun in his hand. Heads up, partner.
5'8",
He's southbound, Gonzalo 5'9".
Gonzalo 5'8", he has gun.
Yeah, hey, we're southbound Gonzalo. He's got a gun in his hand. We're southbound Gonzalo from 5'9". Damn, heads up. He's running to the back of 5'9".
Running to the back of fun.
He's got a gun. He's still got the gun. Hey, put the gun down! Shots fired. Officer detail, shots fired. I got it. Heads up. Trophy 5'1", officer detail, shots fired. Damn it. You okay? Trophy 5'1", officer detail, shots fired. We're going to be fighting. Gonzalo, suspects to the rear. Wearing a blue shirt. He's armed with the handgun. I see him. He's over there. All right, put it up. We get a backup 415 man with the gun.
So then if I want to get a backup 415 with a man with a gun.
Heads up.
Yes, sir.
Say, he's running southbound, but he's running southbound and straight up. He's running southbound and straight up.
He's running southbound and straight up.
Yes, sir. Heads up. Say he's running out. Heads up, partner.
Yes, sir.
All right. Gonzalo, put it out. And 5'8", he's got a gun in his hand. Heads up, buddy. Heads up. 5'8", he's southbound. Gonzalo 5'9". Gonzalo 5'8", he has gun. Yeah. Southbound Gonzalo. He has a gun in his hand. Southbound Gonzalo from 5'9". Damn, heads up. He's running to the back of 5. He's running to the back of 5. He's got a gun. He's still got a gun in his hand. Hey, put the gun down! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Damn it. You okay? Yes, sir. You good? Tell me 5-1. Shots fired. Shots fired. Suspects to the rear. Wearing a blue shirt. He's on with the handgun. Stand by. 1980. Go. Hey, 40, holster up. Get your 40 ready. 40, holster up. Get your 40 ready. I got it. Hook him up. Yes, sir. Corner, hook him up. Yes, sir. Right there. Copy. Where'd you toss it, Brian? On the roof.
Well, after watching the video, I would like to say that the FTO field training officer did a great job with communications. He was teaching the young officer to give communications during a high-stress situation, of pursue, giving out coordinates of their locations, also telling them to put out a bolo, a description of what the suspect was wearing. So he did a good job with that. The field training officer was he was excited. He was a little bit excited to where he got his field training officer very excited as well. So I think he just could have been a little bit more calmer, because once they got to the apartment building at the end of the driveway, I think the trainee shot when he should not have shot, because there were opportunities along the way where they could have shot at the suspect, but they didn't. What are your thoughts?
Well, let me ask this question first. Do you believe that this is a good shooting?
I believe that this is not a good shooting, but I do believe that the officer shot in good faith, and I do believe that nothing should happen to the officer other than retraining.
Okay, so you jumped all the way to the end. But let's start.
I just want to call it a spade a spade.
All right, let's go back to the beginning, all right?
Yeah.
So this call comes in as a vandalism. And but once the police officers get there, they're confronted with a man in the middle of the street armed with a gun, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So this man runs away. This suspect runs away. He goes and he puts himself between a tree and a house, and he points the gun at the police officers in the car. You see the police officers, they stop, they draw their weapons, and they're ready to engage him if they have to. So right there, as a police officer, and we've been police officers for a long time, we're retired now, obviously, but that puts you in the mind of, okay, this guy has a gun, he's not afraid to point it at us, and then look at all the other people around. So you got cars, you got people walking up and down the street. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, when the opportunity comes to engage this guy, I'm going to have to do it. And so you see that the offender, as they're driving along, he keeps going back and forth, almost like taunting the police officers. So the police officers follow him. They follow him to this building where he walks pretty fastly behind the building, and then he ducks behind the building. And when he comes back out, it appears like he's going to discharge his weapon. So the police officers, they're given great verbal commands. They draw their weapons. They tell him to put down a gun. So when he ducks back and then he comes forward, they're believing he's going to shoot. And you have the one that we believe is a rookie police officer discharges his weapon, which I think is a good shooting.
Okay. Well, let me take it back to the point where the suspect was running along the route to the apartment building, and he pointed a weapon at the police officers. Okay, I was taught that you have a window of opportunity, a green light and a red light to use force, but especially deadly force. So he pointed the gun at them, green light. He tucked that weapon and ran, red light. So he goes on and he runs into the back of the, and mind you, you mentioned that it was broad daylight, early daylight. There were a lot of people out, mothers walking babies, a man trying to cross the street, another woman walking down the street. So there are people out doing this. So an officer in a high stress situation in a residential neighborhood has to be aware of the backstop. You have to be aware of the potential to shoot others. So we get to the apartment building. He goes down the driveway and then he ducks behind the apartment building. Yes, he peeks out, but he peeks out with his forehead and possibly a knee. He wasn't in a position because the way his body was positioned, it would have been hard for him to shoot his gun because the gun wasn't pointed down at the officers from my view. But the backstop was a car at the end of that driveway, which you'll see in the video, that if somebody was down there, man, it would have been tough. Thank God no one got hurt. So that backstop. So you need to be very careful with that because only a marksman would have been able to time that head.
Wow.
I mean, only a marksman. And
Well,
remember, they had distance. The officers had distance, and they also had cover.
They did.
So,
But
I don't think it was a good shooting, but I don't think it was a situation where it's just only training. Nothing more than training needs to occur in this instance.
I think it was a great shooting. And like I said before, I think it was a good shooting because of what the suspect did going into the situation. You know, he brandished the gun. He pointed at the police officers. He was in this neighborhood. You know, he could have shot anyone at any time. He could have killed himself. Could have shot at the police. But
that was like 2 minutes earlier.
I get it.
Before the shooting.
Yes, but you can't play chicken with a police officer and believe that we're not going to discharge our weapon to protect ourselves and others. So I think that whatever this guy was going through, he decided that, okay, today I'm going to point a gun at the police and let's see what happens. And so I think once we got down that corridor and just being I would like to consider myself a body-worn camera specialist because, you know, I commanded the unit for several years and looked at thousands and thousands of videos. And I can tell you that your naked eye sees something that the camera doesn't see. So we don't know what those police officers saw during the time of the discharge. So we see with the camera that, you know, it looks like maybe a head and a knee, but we can't see if he had his hand tucked and he had the gun pointed sideways. We can't see that.
If he had it pointed sideways, it wouldn't have been pointed at the officers just from the angle because remember, his back was against the wall. And I'm talking about the suspect back was against the wall of the apartment building because that's how he went in. He backed into the wall and then he peeked. But I will give you this.
Okay. Let's see this.
I know that the officers were afraid because I can hear the adrenaline in their voice. I can hear it. Heads up, heads up. That means, okay, we're in a dangerous situation. You need to be observant. You need to be vigilant. You need to be ready. And he said that several times. So that part, you know, now you to the point where okay, this armed person is going into the unknown behind a building. So I know we have to go and get him. So the fear part, I agree. But I think they had time on their side at the point when they shot. When the rookie officer shot.
Well,
so that's just my thing, and I think it was good faith. I don't think he intended to want to kill the suspect or anything like that. I just think that training some scenarios with simulation would just help him to be able to, in a high stress situation, just get an extra second for that don't shoot scenario.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to agree to disagree because.
That's okay.
You know,
I mean, that's okay.
Because I believe that when he stepped back, you know, he stepped back aggressive and he came back kind of aggressive. So in our eyes, as a police officer, if it was me, in fact, and you know, we're typically every situation we're gonna be in some sort of danger, no matter traffic stop, kissing the baby or whatever. What do they always tell us? That, hey, there's always one gun present in any situation.
Of course.
So, with that in mind, and then understanding the deadly force policy, we already know that this person has a gun. We know that there's other people around. We have somewhat of a backstop there with the building that was back there, and so this suspect presents himself in an aggressive tone, in a manner that that made the police officer believe that a discharge needed to happen in order to protect himself and other people. And so that's my thought process behind that.
Yeah, I think if that was the process, I mean, that is a good assessment as well. But with that being said, they should have shot him earlier in the time when he pointed it directly at him, and he was closer to them when he pointed the car. He pointed the gun at the car with a minute. So, but like I said, it's okay to agree to disagree. I think this was an unjustified shooting, but I don't think it deserves nothing more than retraining.
Okay.
That's it. So if that could be a justified shooting with retraining, because I don't think anything should happen to the officer, but I just think at that point that they shot, the window of opportunity was closed.
Well, good shooting. And so, what else did you see in the video that you liked or didn't like?
Well, I like the arrest teams, working together. They, I think they transitioned from lethal to non-lethal when they really got close enough to recognize that his arms was clear of any weapons, and they felt safe enough to take him into custody without incident, and that's what happened.
Well, with the arrest team, if I'm being very nitpicky, I feel like, how we're trained, and I'm sure they're trained similar because, large police departments pretty much have similar tactics. There's only so many different styles of things that you can do. And so I thought the arrest team was good. I felt like maybe the less lethal should have been presented before, because when he heard the sergeant or whoever called it out, hey, so-and-so, go to less lethal, who knows what this offender could have done or whatever. So I would have preferred that the less lethal be out. And then in the handcuffing, if I'm being very critical, I felt like maybe two people should have handcuffed, one on each side, and that would have helped the handcuff go a little faster. I had a few other quick things that I'd like to point out real quick. And so, again, I think like you said, you have to remain calm during these incidents. I know it's high stress, but the only way to get better is practice, talking through it, going through simulations and stuff like that. I'll give, when I was a rookie police officer, the police officers that were on midnights with me, the senior officers, man, they put us through some training. We had to, when it was downtime, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, we were going through scenarios, and I'm like, Are we supposed to be doing this? And so, but you have to remain calm. And so another thing that I felt like the police officers should have done is, and I believe the city of Miami came up with this, QAH, quiet air holding. I think that they needed to take command of that radio and tell the dispatcher, hey, listen, I got a guy with a gun. I need everybody to stop and listen to what I'm about to tell you, because something's happening here. And so I think if they do that, take control of that radio, set up a perimeter, give out the coordinates, and then now, whatever happens, if you don't have to jump back on the radio, then you're good. So.
Yeah, but I also think that could have been a failure on the communications policy, on the dispatch policy, because in Miami, the city of Miami, once there's a scenario with a gun, you automatically get the air. The dispatcher will hold the air. When you say, I have them at gunpoint, I'm running behind someone with a gun, you automatically get the air. So I think if it's not a policy, then it should be implemented as one.
I agree. And one other thing, being nitpicky here, but not trying to be, but like when they were driving, I think that the driver, the police officer, needed to not have his weapon in his hand. There was a point in time when they were driving that when the guy, the suspect, brandished his gun, that he, I think that was a time to take your gun out. But switching your gun back and forth, trying to handle the steering wheel, you're setting yourself up for a discharge. we had an incident when we were partners on Midnights many moons ago where we were chasing a car. The car went into a parking lot, did a 360 and came right back at us. And I kept my hands on the steering wheel. You put your gun out and you pointed it down range. And I think that's what should have happened here. This police officer, the young police officer, should have, and he did at some point. He had his gun pointed down range, and the senior officer should have been able to say, "Hey, listen, make sure you keep your gun pointed at this guy, while I get us there." And you saw sometimes the rookie police officer, or who we believe is a rookie police officer, was trying to get out the car, kind of fumbling and stuff like that. That's got to get cleaned up a little bit too.
Yeah. But overall, I think they did a good job because everyone went home safe. Everyone went home safe. So it's always a good day when the officers and the suspect goes home safe.
Yes.
So, well, thank you for listening to another episode of Car to Car Podcast. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe and comment. And until next time.